Commissioner of the Republic of Rwanda. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Of Republic of Rwanda to the Republic of India. She is former ambassador of Rwanda to the Nordic countries. Mukangira represented her letter of credence to India's President Ram Nath Kovind in the ceremony that was held by video conference due to COVID-19 pandemic. She had previously served in various capacities such as Member of Parliament in the Chamber of Deputies. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Her Excellency Jacqueline Mukangira. Come on everybody, put your hands together. Ma'am, you're looking super gorgeous.
Thank you very much, moderator, for the floor. Distinguished officials, all protocol observed, dear friend, Mr. President of the Global India Business Forum, dear colleagues, ambassadors, high commissioners, diplomats, dear friends from the business community, our dear students. It's a great honor and pleasure for me to be here today, and I would like to take this moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the President of the Global India Business Forum for having invited me to be part of this great business forum. I'm glad that I have the opportunity to inform you about my country, Rwanda. I'm sure you have heard that my country went through a genocide in the 1994, in which period over 1 million of people perished. But my presence here today is to inform you that Rwanda has changed completely. I'm happy to inform you that Rwanda is a success story on the African continent. I want you to show some slides. Dear friends from the technical side, I'm happy to inform you that my country, Rwanda, has been very well ranked by international bodies. Those include the World Bank, Transparency International, the International Monetary Fund, and so on and so forth. Today, where is the presentation, dear friends? I'm still waiting for it. I'm glad to inform you that Rwanda has been ranked by the World Bank as the second growing economy in Africa. I'm saying my country is the second growing economy in Africa. And please be advised that Rwanda is the safest country in Africa and number 6 worldwide for solo travelers. And I'm sure any investor would be happy to put his money, to do his business in a safe country. And my country is number 1 in Africa. Where is the presentation? I'm happy also to inform you that Rwanda is the second easiest place to do business in Africa. We do have a very conducive investment environment. We have renewed old laws and we have passed new ones to make sure that we have a very friendly and conducive investment environment for both national and foreign investors. I'm also happy to inform you that there is zero tolerance for corruption in my country. Thank you. And there is no one who is above the law in my country. If you are in Kigali, you can leave your money in a hotel, you can leave your laptop, everything. And when you come back, you will find everything safe. And in my country, no one will request you to pay bribe. It's impossible. It's impossible in my country. No security officer will request you to pay bribe. No. There is zero tolerance for corruption in my country. I'm still waiting for my presentation. But let's go on. Thank you. I'm happy to inform you that my country, Rwanda, is #1 in East Africa when it comes to network readiness. And it's #5 at the African continent level. This is not the presentation. Please go to my presentation. It's called Investment Opportunities in Rwanda for corruption in my country. And I'm happy to inform you that we have a very young population. Around 70% of our population is under 30 years old. And we have a very dynamic. That's not my presentation. I want my friend who is in charge of marketing, sir, tell her to come. She has my presentation. Yeah. And dear friends, I wish to inform you that we have a lot of investment opportunities in my country, in various sectors, and those include, now the stick is there, but let's continue. I was telling you that we have a lot of investment opportunities in my country, and those include agriculture and agro-processing. The Rwandan economy is based on agriculture. We grow coffee, the best coffee maybe in the world. We grow tea, we grow other crops that are important in our life. And we have investment opportunities in the field of mining. We have a lot of mines, we have gold. I met a friend a few minutes ago who was telling me that he imports some mines from my country. So we have gold, we have casterite, we have wolfram, we have coltan and so on and so forth. So we have also investment opportunities in the field of tourism. Rwanda is a beautiful country. Okay. Next slide. Stay there. Go back. I have already informed you that Rwanda is the second growing economy in Africa. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the World Bank. And I say that we have a very young population. Good. Rwanda is the second for doing business in Africa. We have a stable currency, and Rwanda is a strong African hub potential. And we do have our national carrier, Rwandan Airlines, which started flying to Mumbai since 2016. I'm sure many of you have already flown with Rwandan. It's one of the best airlines in Africa. We do have a lot of incentives. For example, there is a 7-year corporate income tax, CIT holiday for investors who bring their money, who bring more than 50 million USD in my country. There is also a preferential CIT rate of 15% if 50% of production is exported outside the East African community. And there is also exemption of capital gains. There is also, okay, it's okay, we can continue. Let's talk about investment drivers in my country. Next slide. You can also go to the next slide. access to African and global markets. They have already been mentioned. Those include the East African Community, Free Trade Agreement, there is COMESA, and so on and so forth. Next slide. You see that Rwanda is very well located in East Africa. So it's very easy to export your products in our region. Next slide. This is about our national career. I have already talked about it. It flies to so many countries, so many African countries. It flies to Paris, London, Brussels, very soon to New York. And remember that it's one of the best airlines in Africa. Next slide. I'm happy to inform you that some big international companies have decided establishing their branches in Kigali. As you can see, there is Volkswagen, just to give you an example. Volkswagen has an assembling unit in Kigali, in my country. We have also Ericsson, Andela, and so on and so forth. Next slide. My country is a place for innovation. Next slide. You can see that there is a picture of a drone. We use drones for taking blood and medicines to hospitals and health centers which are located in rural areas in my country. Next slide. This is the list of international companies and universities which are already established in my country. Next slide. We are looking for investors in the field of financial services, and we do offer a lot of incentives. Next slide. Rwanda has an international financial center which is very attractive. Next slide. These are also incentives in the field of financial services. I will be sharing the copy of my presentation. Next slide. We have a lot of investment opportunities, as I have already mentioned. The next slide. These are some areas. I was talking about agriculture and agro-processing, tourism, financial services, ICT, health, education, and so on and so forth. Next slide. Why you should invest in affordable housing in my country? Because the demand is so high. We need more houses. And there are mechanisms which are being implemented to facilitate market access. And my government is working hard to contribute to the viability of your investment. Next slide. We have a lot of investment opportunities in the sector of transport. For example, there's one huge project concerning acquisition and operation of ferries on Lake Kivu, which is a big lake between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. There's another huge project of construction and operation of railway between Rwanda and Tanzania. There is another big project of construction and operation of Kigali bus rapid transit, as well as the development of Kigali city, cable cars, and so on and so forth. We need investors to come and invest in the construction and operation of aircraft maintenance facilities. And I'm happy to inform you that very soon Rwanda will be having one of the biggest airports in Africa. It will be located in Bugesera. And at the end of this year, in December, 70% of the construction work of that huge airport will be finalized. We need also someone to invest in the establishment of aviation training facilities. Next slide. In the manufacturing sector, we need people to invest in the construction materials, light manufacturing, cross-cutting, enablers, and so on and so forth. Next slide. Hello, my friends. Next slide, I'm saying, Rwanda has the ambition to become a regional hub for top-tier capacity building in ICT. Remember what I told you, that Rwanda is the leading country in East Africa when it comes to network readiness, and it's number 5 at the African continent level. Next slide. In agriculture, we have investment opportunities in the sector of mechanization, horticulture, food processing, and so on and so forth. Next slide. In the health sector, I was happy to listen to someone representing one hospital. Please be advised that we do have a lot of investment opportunities in the health sector, especially with regard to emerging clinics, equipment manufacturing, medical consumables manufacturing, and so on and so forth. We need people to bring their hospitals in Kigali. I'm so happy that there is already one big investor who has started constructing a very huge hospital in Kigali. He's from Kerala. So you are the most welcome. Next slide. Talking about tourism. Rwanda is one of the most beautiful countries in Africa. We have a lot of investment opportunities in the tourism sector. We need more investors to build hotels, resorts, and so on and so forth. Next slide. This is the same. Next slide. Rwanda has 4 big national parks. Up north, we have the Mountain Gorilla National Park. It's between Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. For your information, just to correct what my sister from Uganda was saying, Uganda is not the only home to mountain gorillas. There are 3 countries in East Africa which are homes of mountain gorillas, and those are Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And we also, please go back. We also have other 3 national parks which host the big 5 animals. We have those beautiful zebra, lions, giraffes, and so on and so forth. Please come and meet those beautiful animals. Next slide. I'm happy to inform you that Rwanda is one of the best destinations for MICE. You may be aware that MICE stands for meetings, events, conferences, and exhibitions. So many international conferences and summits have taken place in my country. Those include the World Economic Forum on Africa, the African Union Summit, just to name a few, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and very recently my country hosted the Women Deliver Conference, which brought together more than 6,000 powerful women from across the world. Next slide. This is our national career, Rwanda. Next slide. Let me talk very briefly about bilateral ties between Rwanda and India. I'm happy to inform you that Rwanda and India have excellent bilateral relations. Our both countries have been supporting each other in various bilateral and multilateral fora. And our bilateral cooperation is currently at a strategic level. We have over 100 Indian companies that are already established in Rwanda and which are doing very good business. The Honorable Prime Minister of India, the Honorable PM Modi ji, visited my country in July 2018, and my President has visited India 5 times. Next slide. These are the pictures regarding the visit of PM Modi ji to my country. Next slide. We have students here. We have currently more than 300, but before COVID time we used to have around 2,000. Next slide. I was telling you that so many Indians are in Rwanda and they are doing very good businesses. Next slide. These are the names of few Indian companies that are already established in Rwanda. You may get in touch with them. They will tell you how Rwanda has a friendly investment environment. Next slide. Rwanda imports so many products from India, especially in the field of pharmaceuticals, ICT, machinery and equipment, iron, steel, and so on and so forth. My country has also started exporting some chili and minerals to India, but we want more investors. We want more Indians to tap that market of my country, because we do offer a lot of investment opportunities and we have a lot to be exported to India. Next slide. At the end, but let me conclude my presentation in informing you that Rwanda means business. My country means networking. Rwanda means partnership. So we invite you all to visit my country and to see how much we have a very conducive investment opportunities. And remember what I told you from the beginning, that there is zero tolerance for corruption in my country. Please remember that my country is the second growing economy in Africa. So please visit my country and please be advised that an investor is a king in my country. Thank you very much, Daniel.